First, as we go into it, let's talk about marketing, because honestly, we made a video the other day, and to me, marketing is still going to be the number one problem we're going to face in adult daycare. So, as an industry as a whole, marketing is creating the awareness of what adult daycare is like literally the largest project or the largest obstacle you're gonna have to overcome in your adult daycare. Hiring, transportation, activities, meals, all stuff's easy compared to making the community aware that you are open for business and that what is an adult daycare center, okay? So, this is very important that you understand who is your target audience. I often will talk to people and they're always they make the assumption that we're advertising or marketing to the specifically to the seniors themselves, but we're really not. We're advertising and marketing to the family caregivers. So it's the person who is overseeing the care of that individual. Is it the adult child who's taking care of their mom and dad? Or is it a spouse taking care of their husband or their wife? Or is it maybe someone maybe another senior in the community who's looking after a friend or a relative or a neighbor? That is your target audience. That is who you're trying to communicate with, because at the end of the day, even though we're caring for that senior that that's coming into our adult daycare program, we're doing it because of the need of the family caregiver. I hope that makes sense. But sometimes people get that confused. Sometimes the way they market to the wrong audience, and then ultimately, those are lost opportunities to help that person. Because at the end of the day, the adult child and the senior that's taking care of their spouse, that family caregiver, their problem is that they need a break. They need to be able to go to work. They need to be able to work from home. So the reality of it is your solution is providing them a safe environment for their loved one to go, so you can relieve them of their family, that caregiving burden that they might be enduring, so that they can do the things that they need to do. Again, might be work, might be running errands, might be visiting with friends, or just getting a little break. But how do you solve that need, and how do you communicate that to the right person? Things that are important too. I always tell people Google Ads, still to this day by far, and we spend money on all sorts of advertising, from newspaper to magazines to everything you can possibly imagine. Google Ads to this day is still the most effective way for us to advertise. And what's important to understand is that I don't think you should ever spend money on social media compared to spending money on Google Ads. And the reason why I say that is because if someone's going to Google, they are in need, okay? They are looking for those services because they need a solution. Whereas social media, you're never going to social media to find that solution. You're not going, social media is not your search engine. Social media is where you go to get entertained. So the content that you put out on social media is really just generating awareness in the community, letting people know all the fun and exciting things that you're doing, but it's not going to lead to a bunch of new leads. Google Ads will. And number 4, it's so important, but it won't generate immediate leads. It's going to take time for those leads to develop, because you're going to have to build relationships with elder law attorneys. You're going to build relationships with discharge planners, neurologists, different physicians, different social workers, case managers in the community. There's obviously an enormous number of different referral sources that you could be communicating with, but what's most important is that you're developing an authentic, genuine relationship with them.